Well, I just came in from the 95-degree heat here in deep South Georgia. Took a shower, but I am still sweating. Whew, my skin got hot out there, buddy. Okay, we are. I wonder if this microphone can pick up this guitar from here. Yes, indeed. So, I don't know how good these drone videos are going to look in this because my screen capture, I believe, is only 1080p, even though the drone was set at 4K at 30 frames per second. This was at Mexico Beach last year, and this chick right here, she is half black, half Filipino, raised in the Philippines. Her father was, well, she was illegitimate. He got a woman pregnant while he was stationed there. And I just noticed that there was somebody I did not know at the time that there was somebody directly above us right there, so they were watching my drone and hearing everything that we were talking about. Anyway, looks like they were having a few cocktails. I don't think we were. I think we had just eaten dinner or were about to eat dinner. Went right through those power lines there. Luckily I didn't have a little accident then. One of these days I'm going to have an accident that I do not recover from. I haven't had this drone long. I guess I've had it 4 years, and I've had 2 major incidents. Both times I was very lucky to recover my drone. But this is Mexico Beach, Bay County. Is that Bay County or Gulf County, Florida? I believe it's Bay County. Anywho, what else we got here of any interest? What have we? Yeah, back at the canal behind the condo that we were staying at. This was at a time of a lot of construction too, and we got there in the middle of the week, and it was loud during the middle of the week. They were not exactly trying to keep quiet for the tourists, but they shut down on the weekend, and the weekend was fairly pleasant. So this is Mexico Beach, Florida. It's I don't know, what, 30, maybe 40 miles away from Panama City, Destin area. I'm not sure. I'm not much of a Panama City, Destin kind of guy. I don't care for those overly crowded beaches as you see here. Not a big crowd on the beach that day, but then again, I think this was a Tuesday or Wednesday and school was still in session, so let's St. George, St. Augustine. Oh yes, the lighthouse. The old haunted lighthouse. And if you don't think that it is haunted, you are mistaken. Whether you believe in that kind of stuff or not, I do not know. I do not care. But there's been dozens, if not hundreds of people that claim to have had ghostly encounters there, including the TV show a few years ago, Ghost Hunters, where they were in there and they captured somebody looking over the railing at them, and of course they ended up going all the way to the top, and there was no way that anybody could have got by them or gotten out of there, and so they went all the way up to the top, the fixture there, whatever that room is called where the actual light is, and nobody there, nobody at all. We haven't been to St. Augustine now in a while, 4 years I guess, so I've had the drone at least 4 years. I do miss it though. St. Augustine, Florida is a town like no other. And one of the most, again, one of the most haunted places you could ever ask to go to. There is a downward pan, or whatever you call it, letting you get a look at the structure, the elevated structure there. Let's move forward here. Pretty much the same thing. Again, panning back up. And then the actual lighthouse right here. It's a pretty big lighthouse. I've been to several lighthouses in my lifetime, and I'd say that's the biggest one, biggest, most sophisticated one. So just a little inlet area there where, I might add, the fishing is extraordinaire. Let's go here. Here we were over at the Castillo de San Marcos. They call it a Spanish fort. I don't know that I buy that, because these starforts are all over the world in places where the Spanish never were. They've even found them in very remote locations, like down near Antarctica and China, and regions close to the close to the North Pole as well. This is the Lions Bridge here. It is a drawbridge, as you can see, and bridges pass through this channel right here. And did I get a shot of the pirate ship? Yeah, there's the pirate ship right there. This, I believe, is gone now. That used to be a killer seafood restaurant out on a dock. I believe that's gone now. But going back towards Castillo San Marcos, the Starfort right here. And what Starforts are, who knows? Who really knows? A lot of people believe that they were built by a previous civilization, or a previous more advanced human civilization that we today are not privy to know about. How much truth there is to that, you be the judge. I guess it depends on your intellect. See if I can find some. Yeah, here we go. Here's a better shot. Gives you a good view of the overall structure of the Starfort. The word of the day is Starfort. I hope this turns out looking okay. I hope this video doesn't come out looking all fuzzy, because like I say, when I took it on the drone it was 4K, but you know what happens to videos over time after they've been edited, re-edited, posted, screen grabbed, edited again, reposted, etc., etc. Why, again, going out over the harbor area. Because I cannot put on fake wings and fly over places like this myself for an eagle-eye view, I bought a drone with which I can at least gain the sight that I would have had if indeed I were someone with some fake wings and I could somehow fly out here for myself. I know people have taken hang gliders and lawnmower engines and little propeller systems and little makeshift stabilizers and created flying machines for themselves. I'm not all that gifted of an engineer, so that's not going to happen with me anytime soon. I wanted to get a view of the pirate ship there. Can I slow this down? Speed. Yeah, I can slow it down, but it gets a little jerky, a little jumpy, a little jittery, whatever the word is. I was hoping to get a closer view. It's not bad. Still not as close as I want it. He's got the Jolly Roger flying there. Alright, let's go back to normal speed. Now, one day, this is, excuse me, this is Anastasia Island over here. Or it's a point off of Anastasia Island. And one day, me and my wife were coming back from Anastasia Island. This was back in the early days of cell phones, you know, 2004, 2005, I guess, maybe as late as 2007. And we're coming this way, right? We're going this way towards St. Augustine, which is over here, downtown St. Augustine. And so my wife, I can't remember if it was with her BlackBerry, because she had a BlackBerry at the time. Whatever happened to those things? Does anybody still have a BlackBerry? It's either BlackBerry or she had a camera of some kind. She's been through 2 or 3 cameras. None of them really great quality cameras. But she took a picture as we were coming across the bridge, and we were right about here, about right where that vehicle is. We were about midway. And she took a picture of the downtown St. Augustine area, which is kind of downhill from where we're at right here. So we had an overlook, a little bit of an elevated overlook over downtown St. Augustine. So she took a picture. Well, when she reviewed the picture a little later that day, she was like, "Oh my God, look at this! What is this?" And unfortunately, I don't know whatever happened to the picture. It no longer exists. But directly above downtown St. Augustine, there was this bubble, a big bubble, like bigger than a car, or roughly the size of an automobile, I guess. Like a clear bubble. And inside the bubble was an individual that looked to be seated. But something about, and we were able to zoom in and take a look at this this image that she captured, and there was nothing there in the sky. I mean, I recall we knew what we were looking at. If there were something there in the sky, we would have seen it. But in the photo, there's a person sitting in this bubble, and something about the person didn't look like a modern day human. It looked more like a monk, or I don't know, some kind of clergy, some kind of saint or something. Somebody who was semi-robed. Almost looked like somebody out of a Renaissance painting, but this wasn't a painting, and this wasn't an image that somehow got transferred from one photo in her camera onto this one. We tried to figure out every possible explanation, and my wife, you know, I'm not sure what her beliefs on that kind of thing is, but she came to the conclusion that it was something supernatural, that it was a ghost, a spirit, and I would be inclined to agree. I would be inclined to agree. But hundreds of people, probably thousands of people per year, come to St. Augustine because of their ghost tours. St. Augustine is famous for its ghost tours. It's the oldest city in the United States, if you believe all of the history about or that we've been taught. But indeed, it is the oldest city in the United States that we're aware of. I happen to think that there's been cities here in North America going back to the dawn of time, but you know, that's just me, and I don't want to try to convince anybody else of the things that I believe. Beautiful cross over here. Lots of churches in St. Augustine. If you've never been there, I strongly recommend that you go. But another look at the Starfort, known as the Castillo de San Marcos Spanish fort there. And I do remember I was right down in here somewhere flying my drone. Somewhere down in here, or was I over here? No. I was back over here. I remember it was hot that day. It was in the 90s and sweat was pouring off my face and dripping down onto my phone and my drone controller. But just another look there at the Starfort. And I believe we're going to go ahead and bring this video to an end. I don't want it to be too long today. I have things to do, which include cooking, actually smoking some pork. And as we are not Muslims in this house, nor are we Jewish. And I have some beer that I need to drink. And I just bought some limes to go in that beer, so... Another look here at the main dragon. This is the downtown St. Augustine area right here. Right above, right in here somewhere was where we would have seen that bubble with the humanoid figure, the ghostly figure seated inside of it. So anyway, I guess that's where we're going to end this video. And if you happen to have watched this video, and probably not too many people will, my channel does not get recommended. This channel was actually deleted years ago during the big purge because I used to talk about politics a lot. And of course the staff over there at YouTube didn't care for my politics. I try not to get into the political stuff too much these days. I mean, sometimes I can't help it. Sometimes things just have to come out. You know, when I see things that are just absolute lunacy, in both parties, you know, has nothing to do with parties, has to do with sanity and lunacy. But sometimes I can't keep my mouth shut about it. But on this channel I try at least to reserve some of that language, and somehow the channel popped back up. I was able to use it again here not too long ago, and I was like, should I try to do something with this channel or not? And so I believe when the channel got disabled or deleted or shut down or whatever, I had like 86 subscribers. And when I started using the channel again, that counter did not move for weeks and weeks and weeks, even though I was putting out videos. But now here suddenly it's started moving again. I've gone from 86 to like 95, and I'll probably lose a couple of those because not everybody's interested in this kind of material. And hopefully people will share some of these videos. I'd like to see it grow. I'd like to get 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000. Anybody'd like to get 100,000. So I definitely like that. I don't see that happening. I mean, I don't have a lot of time and resources to expend on a YouTube channel. I work full time, and I also have my own small business. I'll just leave it at that. So I'm not able to put too much time, too much effort, a whole lot of hours into making videos. But yep, like I say, we're going to end it there. And if you did happen to watch this video, hope that you enjoyed it. I hope the video quality turns out to be okay. And we will catch thy ass next time, ladies.
That motherfucker be gone like the wind.
Waiting for the train she'd never catch. She's never going home again. It was an endless summer. Summer